Hello! Welcome back to Good Game Green Bay. This channel is a production of the Center for Games Interactive Media at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. And today, we're going to be continuing our journey here with Zarsa as we read some scrolls online. This is Reading Scrolls Online, in which an English professor reads all the books he encounters, well, most of the books he encounters in Elder Scrolls Online, while experiencing the quests, the lore, all of that at a glacially slow pace. I'll be your English professor for this session, and probably all sessions. Chris Bukowski-Williams is my name. But more importantly, we have a Khajiit sorcerer here named Zarsa. Zarsa has been experiencing the environs of Blackwood, which is a location, I think, in southern Tamriel and like Cyrodiil, on the border of the Black Marsh. And we're here trying to figure out who's been murdering some elder counselors who were previously involved with the Empire, the Imperial Councils. And this has something to do with the Longhouse Emperors too. We're not exactly sure. So that is our story thus far. So this is a glacially slow place. We played this game for, I think this will be our fourth session here. You can see we're only still level 7. So moving pretty slow. But here, I think this is the next section in our main quest here. We're going to talk to this Commander Orton guy. So we're going to do just that. Let's talk to Evely first. Who's our companion, has been helping us out.
Commander Orton won't listen. He insists that Councillor Eibor gave him strict orders. Said she wasn't to be disturbed. You talk to Orton and try to convince him. And I'm not sure why the servant is in an uproar. Something about a meal and his sister?
Okay, so we gotta figure out, we gotta get and check out this counselor, because somebody's murdering counselors, and this person might be next. What's up, Orton?
Another mercenary. Is our Ivory Brigade so enfeebled
Okay.
that Captain Rian must resort to hiring sellswords?
That's just impolite.
As I told the Wood Elf, Councillor Eibor was quite insistent. She doesn't want to be disturbed.
Captain Rian and Council Leviticus sent us. Do you want to get in the way of our mission?
All right, enough. I can see when
Okay, that was easy.
Very well. I give you permission to enter the watchtower. Councillor Eibor's safety is now in your hands.
Why is the servant in an uproar?
Lurius? Oh, something about his sister. She's another servant here at the fort. Works in the kitchen, I believe. Apparently, she brought the councillor her meal. He says she never returned, but the servants look for any opportunity to sneak off.
It's a bit classist, but okay. Why did Councilor Eibor come to Fort Blueblood? Oh, well, this place is called Fort Blueblood, so there you go.
The councillor demanded we protect her. Said her life was in danger, but refused to give me any details. Imperial confidentiality, she insisted, above my station. I put her up in the watchtower and assigned a couple of brigandines to guard her.
Alright, let's go check out the watchtower. We should talk to this servant dude first. Is this the Loris Corvinus? Gotta be him. Corvinus?
Commander Orton assures me Talace is fine, but it's not like her to disappear and shirk her duties. I worry about her, you know? Since our parents died, we only have each other. Damn it! We have to find her!
I have a feeling this is forecasting that bad things happen to Talise, but we'll see. Calm down and tell me what happened.
Me and my sister work as servants here at the fort. Talace was on kitchen duty. When the counselor called for a meal, it fell to her to deliver it to the watchtower. But Talace never returned to the kitchen and no one has seen her since.
Okay, well, goodbye. This is the watchtower? I would have to walk too far away. Oh, I have to steal from the stuff. I don't want to do that. This guy's. Give me the mean mug. Alright. Oh, okay. Well,
No! Councillor Eibor's been murdered! But
what a
where's the
surprise.
servant?
alright, let's get clues here. I guess that's her. Mysterious note. So, I think we know that's the Black Hand. That's who's been doing all this stuff. I think that's what they're called.
The Dark Brotherhood.
Dark Brotherhood, not Black Hand. Yeah, so they've been hired apparently to be contract killers, so that's cool and good. Don't want to steal from this desk. Just want an uneaten meal. What you working over here? Honestly, it looks like a TV dinner. I don't blame him for not eating that, but let's take a look at it. I don't want to steal from the desk. Just want to look at the uneaten meal. Examine.
Eibor's Ebor's meal is still warm. So what happened to the servant that delivered it?
Why is it giving purple steam? Don't eat that. Well, alright. And we have over here the journal. Unlike most of the Elder Council, I was Emperor Leovic's confidence. I knew the truth along of Emperor's secret, which is, I think, all these people getting murdered. Most of it, anyway. Me and the High Priest. At the time, it felt like an honor to be included. Now I'm in fear of my life and hiding in this damn watchtower. I decided it would be best to write down everything I know. About the four ambitions and how they were created. About the deal with Mehrunes Dagon, who, yeah, he's responsible for all this thing, right? Everything. I may be the only one who knows the location of the new vaults, where Emperor Leovic had the ambitions moved as Varen's forces drew closer. I suspect that all this was over, that it ended with the death of Leovic and the fall of the Longhouse Emperors. According to a letter I received from Furl Lupus, I was wrong. What follows are the locations of the three vaults containing the four ambitions. Next page has been torn out and removed, so yeah, we gotta find those journal pages. So I don't know if that...
Tore out the pages and took them, just when we were so close
Yeah,
to
thanks,
finding
Evelyn.
out more about the ambitions.
I don't know if that would count as a books read. And I can see I've got the total books read over in that corner. Well, over there. That's the books we've read, I think, since like the second session. I've got a count going there. I'm not going to count that. I think it has to be like a book that has been published and meant for the lore of Tamriel. So, like you have to find in the wild. Alright, Shapiro.
We have a door locked from the outside, a dead counselor, and a missing servant. Did the assassin take off with both the torn out journal pages and the servant? Anyway, they not only murdered Eibor, they probably know how to find the ambitions now.
How did the murderer get in and out of the watchtower without the Brigadines noticing?
See that rope hanging from the top of the tower? Bet my bottom acorn that's how the assassin got in and out. But the missing servant... something about that is knocking on the back of my head.
I like that phrase, knocking on the back of my head.
Take those pages.
Maybe the Dark Brotherhood wants the Daedric weapons for themselves.
Maybe. But everything I've read about the Dark Brotherhood never suggested they would be interested in weapons of war. If that's even what the ambitions are. Damn it. We're loosing arrows in the dark here. Let's tell Commander Orton about Eibor.
Sure thing. Let's go upstairs first and see if there's anything worth checking up there. Nope. Oh, I have to steal from my stuff. Is there... nothing really... okay. She's dead, buddy. Good job protecting her.
So, will Counselor Eibor be returning with you to Leyawiin?
Died under your watch, ma'am.
Get my fort back in order. Murdered? Gods, keep your voice down. Do you want to start a panic? Tell me what you found in the watchtower.
Eibor's meal was still warm but untouched, and the assassin left a calling card.
Let me see that. A black handprint. The sign of the Dark Brotherhood. But where is the servant, Talais? Is she involved in this fiasco? And how did she and the assassin get out of the watchtower? My Brigadines never left their post.
There was a rope hanging from the ceiling of the watchtower.
Well, that explains some of it, but not all. We need to locate Talais. Since you're already involved and working for Captain Rian, I want you to quietly try to find Talais. Start by talking to the other servants in the kitchen and dining hall.
Okay. Well, let's read a book. Countess Caro's Birthday by Primus Falto, Countess Caro's Majordomo. Countess Caro's birthday is not just an event, it is an incident. What does that mean? It's an incident. While the Countess herself is more or less removed herself, don't use herself twice probably, from the day-to-day running of Leyawiin, I assure you that is not out of any sense of modesty. Her birthday is proof of this. Decadence is never squandered when it comes to the reigning family of Leyawiin, and the Countess has never been an exception. The food is always the most important part of any celebration. The foundation of every good party starts with what the guests' bellies will be full of. For Countess Caro birthday, we ensure that only the finest decorates our tables. Golden platters teeter with roasted chicken, plump and golden with... Okay. So, I'm not criticizing the writing. I know you got a lot of books, but golden in the same sentence, so close to each other? I don't know. Anyway, golden platters teeter with roasted chicken, plump and golden with dripping butter and honey. You could just say, like, platters, right? Red slices of beef, cuts of fish that melt on the tongue, suckling pig, charred mushrooms. The scents mingle together until it's practically seductive. Crocks of roast vegetables, thick soups you can't help but eat with hunks of dark, pillowy bread, and wobbling bowls of pudding. That's a fragment. The sweets are another matter entirely. Layered cakes tower over the guests' heads in every shade imaginable. Sugar pastries lay against one another, the sheen of glaze on them as glossy as a mirror. Candied yams, dark berry preserves, pies bubbling with sweet sap, and golden buttery crusts, each more beautiful than the last. Is sap edible? I mean, I guess that makes me think of tree sap. Maybe that's the intention. I could have this feast forever, but I simply must move on. The food is only a small part of the decadence of the grand event. You said decadence. I feel like I'm being unjustly harsh on this book, but this one, a lot of these lore books are like, I think they really added another dimension to the game here. This one pulls me out a bit because the artifice feels very present. Like, we're using decadence. That's like the word you're trying to hammer home. Anyway, the food is only a small part of the decadence of this grand event. The decorations are my personal pride and something I poured every ounce of myself into. Words I use for inspiration include outrageous, grandiose, exorbitant, and totally dazzling. I would say decadent is probably what you use for inspiration there too. Gold is the star of the celebration. Golden dishes, golden threaded table runners, shimmering gold curtains. Even the lighting is perfectly crafted. The lighting of hundreds of candles hidden. Even the lighting is perfectly crafted with the lighting of hundreds of candles hidden in the alcoves and along the tables. Lighting back and forth is also catching me out. Bouquets of flowers are dusted with warm light. The perfume is rich and buttery as the color gold itself. Yeah, buttery again. Last but not least, certainly not least, proper attire is required to attend this event. The guests are just as important to the event as any other accoutrement. Those who are lucky enough to be invited spend several months preparing their wardrobe. Decadent silks, jewel-studded vests, shoes of pearls, circlets, rings on every finger. No one walks in without looking their absolute best. Some guests even plan to change outfits halfway through the celebration. The cost of this, one might ask? A good party planner never reveals such secrets. Alright. There we go. So I guess if we meet this countess, have we met the countess yet? I can't remember. Well, if we do meet them, then we'll know that into finer decadence. But this does let us give us another book so I our counter here. So I should go up to 4. There we go. Total book said 4.
Your sister is fine. This one is certain.
Then where could she be? She would never neglect her duties.
Probably found a dark corner and someone to snuggle with. This one does
Dang.
it all the time.
So this is Zahida? Zahida?
Pleasant days, visitors. How can this one assist you?
Commander Orton asks us to find Talise. Any idea where we should look?
Ah, Talise. She worries her brother so. She asked me where we kept the hot root flakes. Counselor Eibor sprinkles them on every dish. I told her they are in the pantry, but you need the key from the kitchen to unlock the door.
It's like using Tabasco. Alright, goodbye. So talk to her. Is this gonna be another steal from? Yeah, okay.
Alright, grab a broom and start sweeping.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, that's Talase's job.
And do you see Talese anywhere? No. Then start sweeping.
Let's go, Masaba.
The servants come to the kitchen to mutter and gossip. This one will not have it. Misaba asks that you do not distract them overly long, as they are already naturally late.
That's rude.
What is it that you need?
Commander Orton asks us to locate Talise. Talise? I'm saying that wrong. Any idea where she might be?
That young woman. She has not returned from the watchtower, so her chores remain undone. And she took the pantry key with her when she went. It is no longer hanging on its hook. That is a clear violation of the kitchen rules. A clear violation.
Where's the pantry?
The pantry is in the cellar, but the door is around the side of the building. Therese mumbled something about how the counselor loves hot root flakes, grabbed the key and the tray of food and went off. This one hasn't seen her
This counselor was
since.
poisoned. That's got to be what happened here. Alright, let's talk to Relique DeVoe? Malik DeVoe?
I suppose now I have to do Therese' chores as well as my own. She owes me one, and I aim to collect.
Is that hair around your forehead there, or is that a band? I'm trying to find Therese. Any idea where we should look?
She took the counselor her meal and hasn't returned. Did you check the watchtower? Abor's a little old, but maybe Therese decided to improve her station, if you catch my meaning. Abor reeks of fear. Maybe Therese finds that attractive.
So we're thinking a little, I guess, transactional relationship. That's what you're saying. That's rude. What do you mean the council weeks of here?
Well, she's been acting like a frightened guar since she arrived. Stays locked up in the watchtower. Only lets a single servant in at a time. And I hear she's been burning papers. Documents of some kind. She's scared out of her wits, if you ask me.
Okay, goodbye.
Before we check the pantry, let's talk.
Sure thing.
So, what did we learn? Counselor Abor was frightened, but that's understandable. Interesting that she was burning documents. Her journal indicated that she knew more than the others. And Therese visited the pantry before heading to the watchtower.
I'm just gonna clear this chat real quick.
Couldn't hurt. And every mystery novel I ever read taught me you should always follow up on every clue. Even the ones that seem insignificant. Let's check the pantry and see if she was looking for more than hot root flakes down there.
Alright, goodbye. Lots of books, but none to read.
Is that... Damn it! They murdered Therese too!
Mysterious note. Dark Brotherhood.
Why would the Dark Brotherhood murder... Oh no! We need to talk about this.
Maybe Therese is being impersonated?
Alright, I think I figured it out.
Okay, yeah.
The assassin followed Therese down here, murdered her, and took her place so they could gain access to the watchtower. Pretty clever, but they didn't have to kill her.
Does this sound like the usual way
No,
Black Activity
not from
operates?
what I've read anyway. I thought they only killed those whose names appeared on their contracts. I can't imagine anyone asked them to kill a poor servant.
Should we return to Leowyn and inform Council Leviticus and Captain Rian?
Yes, but we still need to check on Councillor Valeria. And someone needs to go to Gideon and make sure that Councillor Van Dacia is alright. Can I leave those tasks to you? I want to return to Leowyn and consult with Councillor Leviticus.
I should check with Valeria and Valdesia. We also need to inform Count Orton about this murder.
Oh, good point. Before you head out, report to Commander Orton. Tell him what happened to Therese, and how we think the assassin slipped into the watchtower undetected. His brigandines need to be able to recognize an imposter when they see one.
I'll report to the commander, contact the two remaining counselors, and then meet you in Leowyn.
After you report to the commander, make contact with Councillors Valeria and Van Dacia. Valeria went to Tidewater Cave to get her records, and Van Dacia works in the Gideon courthouse. Cracked acorns! I suddenly had the weirdest feeling come over me.
You alright?
Yes. No, I don't know. We were talking about the counselors, Valeria and Van Dacia. Suddenly I had a premonition. It was brief and disturbing and mildly unpleasant, like the dreams I've been having. but this is the first time while I was awake.
Tell me about the dreams.
Remember I
Yeah,
told you about
strange
that
book.
strange book I found? The one with the Daedric writing that I can't read? I've been having bad dreams since I found it, and the dreams are becoming more frequent. This time it happened right while we were talking.
Tell me about the premonition.
It was just a flash, but it was accompanied by a feeling. I felt a sense of overwhelming evil, all tied up in the figure I saw in my mind. Like someone held a portrait in front of my face for just a moment and then pulled it away.
What did this figure look like?
It was one of the Waking
Waking
Flame
Flame
cultists,
cultists.
I think. Someone powerful, in command. A dark silhouette wrapped in a cloak. I'll never forget the feeling it invoked. It was like a wave of hopelessness. We can deal with this later. Let's get back to it.
Okay. Well, you need to get your fort in order here, my man. 2 people murdered.
All right. You talked to the fort's servants and rummaged around in our pantry. What's the verdict? Did you find the missing servant?
She's in the pantry. The assassin murdered her, pretending to be her to get to the watchtower.
That's
Yeah, man.
horrible. Are you sure? No. Of course you're sure. No one would lie about something like that.
Why would I lie?
I'll tell her brother what happened and send someone to tend to her body. Gods, what a day this has been.
Goodbye. Alright. Well, complete 1. Let's see where we're at in this map. We go. Why can't I figure out? We can go down to the counselor here, or. Let's, I guess, find Council Valeria? Go check out this alien well first, though. I think if I drink from this or activate this, it does something for me. What's that do? Max health at 10% for 10 minutes. Now I'm ready. Alright. Oh, another waystone. Let's grab that. Guess get my horse to run around. Although it's not a whole lot faster. What's this guy's whole deal? We just a skeleton hanging out beside the road. Somebody should. I mean, somebody could probably take care of that. Almost there. I have a feeling whichever one I don't do, if I like warn Vandacia or find Valeria, I won't be able to do the others. Feels like this is gonna preclude that choice. Like I'm only able to like save one of them maybe. Feels like that's what's setting up here. Spriggan. Zap. Take some wheat. Take a lotus flower. Alright. I'm deep in the Tidewater Cave. Death Hopper, huh? What does the Daedric Curse do again? Kinda like Stormcalling, but Daedric Curse... Just okay. Curse them first. Okay. Chivo. Heck yeah. Nice painting. Any books to read over here? There is.
The mercenary. A few moments later, and you would have found an empty cave.
Okay, we can be condescending to me in a second. I gotta read this book. Terror of the Death Hopper, which we took out a couple of those. Alright. From the journals of Remius Volsenius. For 6 days, I've been studying the elusive Death Hopper. My colleagues call me crazy. Perhaps I am. It takes a bit of insanity to go down, tracking down a frog the size of a horse, but what good researcher doesn't have a level of danger? Putting my life at risk is well worth having my name stamped in history as the first one to write about such a magnificent creature. Death Hoppers are generally encountered in packs. Well, not our experience. If you see one alone, you must watch for others. These gigantic frogs enjoy looking just beneath the surface of the murky water they call home. A patient hunter. It often waits until its unsuspecting prey makes the mistake of wandering into its path before it attacks. The first thing you know about encountering a Death Hopper is that it's extremely poisonous. Good to know. I am able to get close enough to determine the toxins excrete from the skin, but I do have a plan to do so soon. Oh, buddy. Hope that worked out for you. I will update this record accordingly. However, I was able to discern that they spit poison over a great distance. I have seen the large gobs of toxin matter eat through all sorts of materials. I shudder to imagine what it might do to unprotected flesh. The second thing you must be aware of is that the Death Hopper uses its incredible size to its advantage. The creature is known to hop high into the air and come smashing down upon its prey hard enough to stun. Then the Death Hopper leaps to its side to confuse and stay its victim before making its final and usually lethal attack. In my days of studying this creature, I've seen it swallow large prey whole, but inside its mouth it houses hundreds of thin, exquisitely sharp teeth. Chewing through bone is no difficult task for the Death Hopper. I'm instantly fascinated by this gigantic, murderous frog. Who wouldn't be? And my research has only just begun. I can only imagine what more I might learn about the Death Hopper, but first I must get closer. I think it's by the end of this. I don't think this guy... I mean, maybe he's got some game, but maybe Death via Death Hopper. Alright, but in either event, that is another book we read. Up to 5 now. Oh boy, we gotta read this book too. Officially, jewel box. I'll take that. Bookshelf. Daedra Worship. The Aliens. By Phrastus of Elenir. Yeah, Elenir. The reasons why the Daedra are reviled and their worship forbidden amongst all civilized races of Tamriel are well understood. And as the series of papers will show, are grounded in historical events. The opinions of the so-called academic who styles herself Lady Cinnabar notwithstanding, The evidence supporting my assertions is incontrovertible and generally accepted by all credited scholars of antiquity. Incontrovertible. Boy, it took me a while to get there. The Aldmeri, who'd been first to begin organized worship of the Aedra, were also the first to venerate the Daedric lords. Daedra and Aedra must be connected, right? This probably began on a small scale among the Ayleids, those elves who lived in Somerset Isles to create splintered cultures in central and southwest Tamriel, which we see Ayleid wells all around Blackwood. In some cases specifically to evade the strictures of the Aldmeri regulation, which forbade, amongst many other things, the worship of Daedra. As Ayleid culture flourished, drawing ever further from Eleanor, the last millennium of the Merithic era, Daedric worship took hold and spread. Amongst the Heartland High Elves. The Aedra was still widely revered, with probably a majority of Ayleids continuing to pay them homage. But cults devoted to the various Daedric princes sprang up across Cyrodiil, tolerated and then celebrated. Unlike the Chimer, the Ayleids made no distinction between good and bad Daedra. Indeed, even some of the more heinous princes received mass veneration, especially when their worship was adopted and endorsed by Ayleid kings and aristocrats. So Daedra must not only mean like devils, mean like celestial figure, right? You can have like almost like angelic, right? You have like devils and angels, I guess. Widespread Daedra worship among the Heartland Elves was particularly ill news for the tribes of Nennic hunters, humans, who were then arriving in Tamriel. The Ayleids enslaved the immigrant tribes of men, at first occasionally, but then systemically, and the Nennic people found themselves subject to masters who, in many cases, worshipped the princes, including those who encouraged slavery, domination, and cruelty. Under the Ayleids, the human thralls found themselves the subject of such Daedra-inspired arts as flesh sculpture and gut gardening. Gut gardening is a horrifying, intriguing phrase. In fact, the revulsion for Daedra worship that pervades most human cultures in Tamriel probably originated in this period. The Alessian slave revolt of early First Era was largely fueled by a desperate rage against the Ayleids' Daedra-inspired cruelty. Excuse me. The Ayleid kings who aligned themselves with the rebellion were largely Aedra worshippers, which in part explains why, once the Ayleids were overthrown, Queen Alessia incorporated the leading elven Aedra into the First Empire's worship of the 8 divines. Her new Empire of Cyrodiil outlawed the worship of the Daedric princes, and Daedric worshipping Ayleids were exterminated wherever they were found. Thus, by the middle of the First Era, I don't know what era we're in this game, large-scale Daedric worship was distinct in central Tamriel, surviving only among the Chimer and northeast of the continent and among the Orcs, ever our pride people. Oh, it feels vaguely racist. Who worship Malkath or Moloch as their god ancestor. Elsewhere, among men, mer, and beast peoples also seems kind of bad. Daedra worship survived only at the level of cults, which were more or less forbidden. Lady Cinnabar's assertions to the contrary are so much horsewash. Horsewash. Is that like hogwash but with horses? We gotta read this book before the Gates of Gideon. Oh, first counter. Boom. Counter go up. Before the Gates of Gideon. This seems like a novel. Okay. By Wood Seles. Captain Fabia couldn't help but think, as the noise of 700 Argonians whipping themselves in the battle fever beyond the city limits rose again, that Trabzork were the wrong party in this war. Her people had wandered into the land. They made a settlement without consulting the local tribes, as colonizers. And now they were making a habit of killing Argonians for what? Minor crimes such as hunting domestic animals? No one told the Argonians the cattle belonged to the people. That cattle belonged to people. This entire situation was the express reason why she got into a shouting match in the courthouse last week. They needed a proper diplomat. She hunkered down behind the stretch of wall that she and her troops were tasked with defending, and wondered, not for the first time, how she'd so badly come to misunderstand the description of her own job. She just wanted to protect her people, or maybe even settle some civilian disputes. Regardless of original reasoning, Fabia knew that this, hiding below the lip of the city's defenses, while an angry Ogonian horde wound themselves into a bloodthirsty frenzy, was not the reason she joined the Legionaries. It started. Fabia could hear the sounds of Argonians attacking the other side of the city. The shouted commands of her other squad leaders echoed off the high stone walls, while rocks and arrows pelted the space around them. Where she was standing, above one of Gideon's gates, it was deadly quiet. Fabia couched to keep below their defenses and walked the line of his soldiers. She placed a hand on their shoulders or whispered words of encouragement to them as she passed. The air that could reach them up on the parapet was thick with anticipation. Every other wall was under siege, but so far, there hadn't even been that one flash of movement in front of them. Still, she walked the line, soothing the fears of soldiers only just old enough to join the Legionaries and battle-weary veterans who knew the rhythm of battles and what was coming their way. It wasn't until Fabia got back to her spot just above the gates that Marta Liz leaned over, ears twitching, and whispered the one question that weighed on a rock in her mind. Do you think your trick will be enough to hold them off? Fabia thought about the small lamp that hung on the hook just outside the city gates. No one on the parapet could see the lamp, but for anyone out in the marshes, especially at this dark hour, it was a beacon. Fabia found the lamp in the swampy wilderness near where she suspected the Argonians' territory started. I hope so, she sighed, glancing out over the silent swamp. Otherwise, we'll be overrun. As she spoke, Fabia couldn't stop the relieved smile that pulled over her lips. Out there, in the blackness of the marsh, and the light reflecting off the still pools of water, was a lamp. An Imperial lamp. Fabia stood up, made her way down to the parapet. She nodded to civilians as they ran from their homes to the quietest wall of the city, the goods and children clutched tightly in their arms. A few soldiers ran against the flow of the panicked mob, but Fabia didn't. She slipped between their bodies, making her way steadily forward down a dust-filled street. And before anyone could notice what she was doing or stop her, she threw the gate open. So this seems like it's either an invitation for somebody to come in and talk, or she's going to go and try to function as a diplomat. It seems like we're not going to get volume 2, unfortunately. I'd like to see more of this. Interesting. Okay. Another book, though. Boom. 7. Okay. Now, let's talk to this person. Hello, Councilor Valeria.
Your timing really is impeccable. We've already packed up my records, and we're about to head out. But what news of the other councilors? Did your warnings reach them in time?
Councilor Sophus and Eibor were murdered, just like Jurek. You need to go to Leywyn Castle.
All 3 of them? That's disheartening news. Well, I'll take my records to Leywyn. Perhaps between the 2 of us, Councilor Leviticus and I can ascertain what past incident has returned to haunt us.
What kind of records should you keep down here?
Oh, just a lifetime of public service and bureaucracy. Mostly financial records, but also meeting notes, ledgers, those sorts of things. I oversaw budgets and finances, the collection of taxes, public works, and I kept immaculate records.
In a cave, with no lock on the door. That's an interesting choice. We found George's files where you said Leviticus sent for a scribe to decipher the coded portions.
That's good to hear. Emperor Leovic loved to hide things in coded documents. But what about Councilor Vandacia? Do we know if he's still safe in Gideon?
I'm on my way to warn Councilor Vandacia next.
Perfect. Remind him he's too old to play the hero, and I want to see him in Leywyn Castle immediately, if not sooner. These Brigadines will make sure I get to the city safely. Me and my records both.
Immediately is as soon as it can possibly be, right? Alright, well, thanks. Goodbye. So now I just leave? Oh, but there's like a quicker way. Oh, they have like, okay, they have a little secret entrance. That's not so bad then. You have to run through the entire cave to get to your records. You just go up this little ladder. And where are we? Not far from it. Okay, neat. What's a little pirate's treasure message? Absolutely, a pirate's treasure message. What you got for me? Look, adventurer. Our chances are non-existent. The blue Wamasu outpowers us, and we're riding low in the water. I refuse to let my treasure fall in their hands. I leave that honor to you. Cross the harbor from Leyawinn's lies a waterfall. Follow the water to its source. Oh boy. Progress 90 paces southwards from the spring. An old fortress that once had the honor to raise a boss foundation waits for you. Dig by the base of the tree that stands in the northwesternmost corner. Happy hunting, my friend. Whatever happens, make the world sure the world never forgets your name. Voldar, Terror of the Torpal Bay. Alright. So where is that going to be? Oh, Captain Volver's nearby. That's neat. And handy. Look at this pewter seam. I don't know if we can do any crafting with this character, but might as well harvest the materials. Cavi, is that just like a rabbit? Oh, yeah, it looks like it. Oh, so 90 paces. But it said a fortress like the northwestern corner, right? Oh, uh-oh. Sorry, bud. Seems like an explosion. Oh, Sky Shard. Where's that? And the ruins of a fort along the coast. Let's find that first. Oh, Minotaur Shop. Oh, this guy took care of it. Alright. Maybe we can run up this way? Trunk. Lockpick. I don't know if we're in a safe spot to read some books here or not. Banana surprise! Drink. Bread. Tomato vine. Sky Shard. Just gained a skill point. Neat. But he said northwest corner, right? So that's like... Oh. This guy, Minecart is mad at me. Zap. Nope. Who else is mad at me? Oh, this guy. How close are we to 7? 8. Not too close. Okay. Alright. Northwest corner. Now we'll be back this way. Is that what it said? There's a way to check this too, I think. No, I don't need my horse. I need... Is it journal? Lore library? No, if I go to inventory, quest items. Northeasternmost corner. So that's... I'm heading the right way. Right, that's northeast. Oh, that looks like it. Oh, I got a hammer. I don't need a hammer. Thanks, buddy, though. Alright, did that. And now we're on our way back. One, going to there. Alright, horse time. Am I going the right way? I don't think I'm going the right way. A little off-road in here. Actually, no, let's take this road. We'll go off the beaten path here. Let's see if we can't get some other shenanigans on the way to Warren Fandasia. Cruising. Oh, he's a boss, world boss. I don't think we're gonna tangle with this world boss. We'll discover its location, but I think it would make mincemeat of me. Oh, you gonna fight it though? If you're gonna do it. Maybe I'll get in here and help you. Cool. Hi, bud. Yeah, let's fight this thing. Hope you're good at stuff, because I'm not. And I cannot help you. You dead already? Oh, no, your companion is. My companion is? Things seem to be going not so great. Especially as I keep on standing in lava. Oh. Somehow I'm still alive. Oh, not anymore. But I wonder if I can rise in time to help this guy. Oh, I can help. Look. Should probably invest in some more healing potions or a healing skill early in anything, I guess. Is that one done? That one's done. I feel there's gotta be like a self-heal spell for the sorceress not in the illustration line. We did it! Neat. All kinds of stuff on this. Wow. That was just by happenstance, I guess. Neat. Okay. Well, thanks, bud. Oh, we got some, because Balgur's ice staff might be better than what we have. Definitely is. Yeah, let's use that. Mark this as junk. Mark this as junk. I'm not gonna disenchant any, deconstruct any of this stuff. I don't think. Drink the bitter tea. Why not? Okay. Cool. What we got here? I think I see the glow of a book. Definitely do. Reality and other falsehoods. Alright. It is easy to confuse illusion and alteration. Both schools of magic attempt to create what is not there. The difference is the rules of nature. Illusion is not bound by them, while alteration is. This may seem to indicate that alteration is the weaker of the two, but this is not true. Alteration creates a reality that is recognized by everyone. Illusion's reality is only in the mind of the caster and the target. To master alteration, first accept that reality is a falsehood. there is no such thing. Our reality is perception of greater forces impressed upon us for their amusement. Some say these voices are the gods, others that they are something beyond the gods. For the wizard, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the appeal couched in a manner that cannot be denied. It must be insistent without being insulting. To cast alteration spells is to convince a greater power that will be used to excuse me. To cast alteration spells is to convince a greater power that will be easier to change reality as requested than to leave it alone. Do not assume that these forces are sentient. Our best guess is that they are like wind and water, persistent but not thoughtful. Just like directing the wind or water, diversions are easier than outright resistance. Express the spell as a subtle change, and it's more likely to be successful. Just good tips all around there. By an unknown author, but I will count that as a book read. That's 5 this session already. Kind of a book-heavy session. What's going on over here? Oh boy, Sinish?
Some Bondari came through a few months ago. I helped fix their wagon wheel, using up parts we had around. We asked for nothing in return. Those nights they stayed, they gifted each of us with a tale. Oh, it was a wondrous
Sounds like it. You got any of those tails around? Thanks, bud. Oh, I can't steal from you. But, neat little spot here. Alright, well. Ayleid Well, let's get this one too. Get this runestone though. Hey, thanks. Ogre, huh? Curse. Nope, I don't need a curse twice. I feel like I should maybe pay more attention to my rotation, but I feel like at this point, at level 7, once I get another skill, I'm just going to replace it anyway. But let's experience the wonders of the Ayleid Well. Delicious. Alright. And we'll go into Gideon. Our favorite little Before the Gates of Gideon stories. I like that one a lot, the little extra that novel. You know, some wolves though. I'm gonna curse that one. Wolves down. I think I want to get to level 8 before we end the session. Where am I now? How far away is that? I need like 2,000 next speed? Oh, it'll be a lot. We'll see. There's another quest in here too. But we can go into Gideon first. Oh, there's a bunch of quests in here. Okay, what is it? Oh, this isn't wanted above. Oh, Fighters Guild handbill. I think we're gonna leave alone the Mages and Fighters Guild for a second here. Where is this person? Is she in the house? She must be. Oh, it's a tavern. Yeah, she's in the tavern. This is the author's assistant. What do you need? Author sees one muscled. Okay, energetic assistant to help research local history. Applicants must be willing to traipse around in swamps and possibly haunted ruins. Peerless martial skill and danger may care attitude required. Positive outlook and shared disposition desired. Don't miss on this lucrative opportunity. Boost direct all inquiries to your sister. Okay, Sentinel at the Egg and Hammer and the Gideon. So does you. It's easy enough. But first, let's talk to. Let's just get the Way Shrine first. And where's this dude? I thought he was supposed to be in here. What's this guy's deal?
Look, I've got just as much right to stand here as anyone else. If those scantily clad Debellites want me to leave, you tell them to come out here and say it to my face.
Feels body shaming? Debellites, what are you talking about?
You're not one of their sanctified bullies? That's a relief. Call me Ferric. I came to Gideon to clear my family's name. But the loose-robed fanatics in the Dibalacium want to run me off.
Dibalacium?
Started with dirty looks. Now I'm getting threats.
Why exactly are the Dibella worshippers trying to get rid of you?
They think my Grana Cerise murdered their high priest decades ago. It's not true, and I mean to set the record straight. Might take a little snooping around, but the evidence is here. I know it. Want to lend a hand? Don't have much, but I can pay.
Why not?
Thanks for the help. Not easy for Germains to make friends around here. The Dibellites use that manse in the center of town as their Dibalacium. Sort of a consecrated love nest. There's proof of Grana's innocence in Gideon. We'll find it there.
Alright, tell me more about this murder. A lot of murders happening.
Like I said, the victim was one of the Dibellites' high priests. A woman named Rolaine. This was 60 years ago, mind. But my grandfather tells me the locals worshipped the ground she walked on. Thought she was a prophet, or something near to it.
And people blame your grandfather for her death.
Aye. My Grana Cerise was Rolaine's flower bearer. Followed her everywhere she went. When a heap of treasure went missing and Rolaine vanished, Grana was the prime suspect. No one could prove it, of course, since they never found her.
Your grandmother disappeared.
Like wood smoke in a windstorm, and without breathing a word to my Grandpa Lier. Way Grandpa tells it, neither of them would so much as visit the Lou without telling the other where they were headed. But the locals wouldn't listen.
It's weird to see somebody say visit the Lou and not like an English or a Commonwealth inflected accent. What happened to your grandfather?
These damned zealots rallied half the city. Gathered up torches and shovels and ran him and my father out of town with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Even outside of Gideon, the rumors followed him. We haven't had a moment's peace since.
You said not from around here. Where did you travel from?
Bravo. Took an awful long time, what with the Three Banners War and all. But I made it, and I'm not leaving till I settle this once and for all.
Is that important? Why come all this way to solve a 60-year-old crime?
Might have happened yesterday for all these people care. Nobody holds a grudge like an Imperial. If your name is Germain, you're lower than dirt in their eyes. I just had a son a couple years back, and he's already catching it on the chin. He's 2.
That feels unfair. So you're thinking clearing Cerise's name will earn you an apology?
An apology? I'm not that naive. I'm a carpenter by trade. I'll settle for people not hiding my tools and splitting my sawhorses 6 times a month. It's about respect. To oblivion with the rest.
I mean, I'm not blaming you here, but how can they have access to your tools to hide them? Do you have any evidence your grandmother was innocent?
Well, not exactly. For now, I can say I have good reason to think there's more to the story. I'll know more once we look around their makeshift Temple of Dibella. And I'll feel much better about doing that having you with me.
Alright, well, let's do that. I still, I want to do all that, but I have to do something else first, so... Just give me a sec. Where is... He's in this thing. Seeking Tenant is gonna... We'll get to that later on.
I was attacked in the streets of our fair city, Keshu. I demand you deal with the criminal post-haste.
Your guards did their job, Counselor Vandacia. The prisoner is secure.
And what's this? More assassins? Explain yourself immediately.
I already don't like this guy.
One attempt on my life today is more than enough. If you're another one of those Dark Brotherhood bastards, I assure you, You won't find either myself or Governor Keshu to be easy prey.
Hey, I'm no assassin. Counselor Leviticus sent me to warn you. He wants you to go to Leyawiin.
Warn me? As always, Leviticus offers too little and too late. I received the letter, same as the other counselors. My personal guard took the threat seriously, and we captured the assassin in the act. But what of my esteemed colleagues? Are they safe?
No, they're not.
Dead? All three of them? This is unimaginable. Pharaoh Lupus's letter suggested the Longhouse Emperors left behind a secret that would prove to be a threat. But I thought he was just being melodramatic. Has Leviticus determined what this is about?
The secret confirms the 4 ambitions of Mehus Dagon. We're examining old records to learn more.
4 ambitions? Never heard of them. How could something I know nothing about make me a target of the Dark Brotherhood? It's got to be a mistake. You must question the prisoner. Get him to confess and reveal the truth of this sordid affair.
I'll question prisoner. Where are you holding them?
Governor Keshu locked the prisoner in the holding cell in the courthouse basement. Question the villain and find out why the Dark Brotherhood is trying to wipe out anyone who was part of the Imperial Elder Council. I'll head for Leyawiin afterward.
We don't have any idea what the secret or the Longhouse Emperor pertains to?
I wish there was something I could tell you. The letter I received suggested that some old council business was the cause of all this. Why the Dark Brotherhood would be interested in such menial affairs, I'm not sure. I'm completely baffled.
And you work with the Elder Council, you never heard anything about the ambitions?
As I said, I never heard the term. The Longhouse Emperors were enamored of secrets and code words, though. Perhaps I encountered it, but it was called something else. If you think it might be important, ask the assassin when you interrogate him.
Will do. How long did you serve on the Imperial Elder Council?
I'm not sure how relevant my ancient history is, but
it's all about this Elder Council, my man.
Elder Council by Emperor Durkarach himself. I helped guide the Empire through most of the reign of the Longhouse Emperors.
And all that time, you never heard about this. Oh, something's not added up here. And all that time, you never heard anything about the ambitions?
Sadly, my role in guiding the Empire often put me at odds with the Emperors. I was rarely privy to their secrets. I'm afraid I can't shed any light on that particular mystery.
You mentioned Governor Keshu.
Keshu the Black Fin. War hero, progressive Argonian, and governor of our fair city of Gideon. I serve as an advisor and bureaucrat. Nothing more. I have deep roots in Gideon, so I try to do my part to keep the wheels of government turning.
How did you manage to survive the attack and also capture your assassin?
My personal guard is dedicated and well trained. Not to mention lucky. I was nearing the courthouse when the assassins sprang from the shadows. My guards reacted instantly and overpowered the villain. We brought them here and Keshu locked them away.
Goodbye. I think I'm going to stop it here for this session because there's a lot of folks I want to talk to. Some bookcase stuff here we should read. Got Keshu the Black Fin, seems intriguing. So I think for this session, I'm going to call it here. We didn't quite get to full level, but we had, 5 books, which is what we're here to do, right? It's not called Leveling Scrolls Online. This has, in fact, been Reading Scrolls Online. And we'll be back soon with another installment of reading all the books we can find in Elder Scrolls Online. But before that, there's going to be other stuff on this channel. Stuff produced by students from Wisconsin Green Bay in their show called Dead Gamer Society, a play on Dead Poet Society. Coming up, they're going to be playing through Among Us. I think they're going to be playing some Overwatch, as well as delving into some queer-based story games. So it should be a lot of fun. So keep your your Twitch eyes pointed right here. And as always, thanks for watching.